Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. I'd just like to introduce my guest for today on McDojoShow. Most of you guys probably already know who he is. He's a pretty big following on Facebook, pretty big following on YouTube. He's been an instructor for a very long time. I'd like to introduce Master Wong. How's it going, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Life is good, man. Living the dream. Life is good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send you the link now. So,
yeah, send the link now so I can share them and get a lot of people involved.
Yes, definitely. So I'll copy there we go. I should be able to send it to you right now. So can you do me a favor? I always like to start off with some really basic stuff so that way people who might not necessarily know who you are can kind of get to know who you are. So can you kind of explain who you are and what you do?
Okay, I can't see the link, but
oh, I just sent it to you.
Where you put it? Where you send it?
Master Wong on Facebook.
No, nothing come through.
Okay, I'll try to find another way to do it.
Can you put into the chat one? This chat one here, the chat guess.
I'm sure I can. Yeah, hold on one second. I'll do that right now.
You can put it in there, then I copy and paste it, and then I start. Then easier, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put it in there right now for you. So
nobody
while I'm doing that, boom. There you go. I went ahead and just put it into the comment section. You should be able to see it.
Okay, see comment.
So, and there is a little delay on here as we talk. So whenever people start sending comments or questions or concerns or anything like that.
Okay, let me copy it in.
There you go. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So I just like to fill in the dead air as you're doing that. So right now, Master Wong is sharing the link to the live video, so that way his followers and stuff like that can join in and hop in and have a conversation with us. You know, there's definitely some. It should be a really good conversation. Me and him have talked now for several hours. Really, I mean, I got to meet him at a martial arts convention, which was very cool. We were out there for that.
Cool. We're on there now. So hold on. Let me share 2 more bits for another group that I use, and then we can get on with it.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm just talking through the dead air while you do that.
Yeah, you're just doing the talking first. Let me quickly share them out, and then we get few people involved, and then we can.
There you go. And then Christopher Velez, said this is a big problem. That's a quote from you, I do believe, something you say quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a big problem with everything. It's a big problem now.
Sheldon Cole says that he loves your videos, which is pretty cool. So you got a pretty good following so far. I'm sure eventually there'll be somebody with a contradicting opinion, which is cool. I always welcome that.
Yeah.
But, right now you're getting nothing but love, so enjoy it.
It's not a problem, you get this all the time. So let me quickly got one more to do. I want to bring some hater in as well, so it'll be fun. So that you can get one more, and then we can get on with it.
There you go for it. Yeah, I'm not in a rush. But I got a chance to meet Master Wong, a mutual friend of ours, John Hackelman, who was Chuck Liddell's coach, introduced us at the Martial Arts Super Show in Vegas. And we started talking. I think we talked for like 2 hours straight. It was pretty cool. And man, I got to say, it was pretty eye-opening to meet him. And I thought that it was a great opportunity for us to get on here and you guys to get to know Master Wong a little bit more personally, other than just his videos, and kind of find out a little bit more about his life.
Okay.
Let's hear. And Jose, Dave, whatever your name is, he said, I bet he kicked at least a moderate amount of ass right before this chat. I don't know. Did you kick anybody's ass today?
Not today. Okay, let me tell people who I am first, and then people know. Okay. People, my name is online. People call me Master Wong. I'm Michael. Michael Wong is my real name, but nobody know me as Michael Wong, so everybody know me as Master Wong. So that's what I do. So what I do is I teaching Tai Chi, Wing Chun, close quarter, weapon training, tactical training as well. I also teaching online on YouTube. Just like stuff that showcase some bit and pieces, so people learn and understanding what's all about. I have training course. People want to learn. People want to come to train with me. All sort of thing like that. So that's what that's what I do. And I write book, bit and pieces about different training, different mindset, thing like that. And I work with different kind of entrepreneur as well. Talk to them about confidence building, also the different thing to improve another human being life. That's what I'm about.
Definitely. And you started the martial arts a while ago. You actually got to tell me a little bit about your story when we met in Vegas. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday as well, but maybe you can tell people what got you started in the martial arts.
Okay, so a lot of that, I just finished my first book, okay? It's called, so you can read more about it. It's about me in Vietnam. When I'm in Vietnam, I get half Vietnamese, half Chinese. So my mom is Vietnamese, my father Chinese. So I getting bullied from Vietnamese people in Vietnam a lot because I'm half and half. And I get beat up from my mom because I go out and fight a lot. So I get beat from her. I get beat from the bully. I didn't go to school because I'm getting kicked out of school very young. So I don't have an education. So all my life is by learning and doing things. By learning, by go out, meet people, work with people, learn about the real human, how to interact. So that's how I learn things as I in Vietnam. That's what I do in Vietnam. So when I came to England, when I'm 11 years old, I go to school. Now, first thing I learn in English is learn swear. Okay, it's like fuck you. That's the first thing I learned. So the funny thing is I got kicked out of the school in the first day, got expelled or expelled of school in the first day because of when the teacher come through, somebody teach me, say hello to teacher, say fuck you. And then teacher don't understand what is it, and he chucked me out. And the next thing I know, I get sent home because of I swear to the teacher, but I didn't know. And in school, I get in a fight quite a lot because of people don't like the way I look or don't like the way I am. I don't know. I get in a fight a lot. So I don't spend enough time in school because my study is very, very small. In school, I don't spend enough time there on study. I got expelled when I'm 14. So when you finish school, when I'm 16 to 18, so I expelled when I'm 14, I can't get back to school. So then I go out to work and learn and train and in real world to become to become who I am and bit and pieces like that, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So, obviously, me and you started martial arts, very similar reasons. I started martial arts because I was being bullied when I was in school and picked on, and it seems like you started martial arts for a very similar reason. So how long have you been training and what arts have you trained in?
Okay, so to tell a lot of things about my martial art training. I didn't go into that, but again, it's quite a long story when you talk about it. But I get beat up a lot, so I find somebody that can teach me martial art. But when they teach me the martial art, I find that I learning the system I learning is a close quarter combat. They call it KT3, Kung Fu tactic free principle of learning. And the master teaching me, the person teaching me, he's the one of the gangs triad. Okay, so I learned from him, and because all the stuff I learned from him, before I go into learn Wing Chun, and then after that I learning traditional to learn Tai Chi. So I learned from the master first in the triad. So he teaching a lot of tactical fighting principle, and we do a lot of that, and I work with him very closely for a long time into that kind of environment. Before I met another master teaching me Tai Chi in China and teaching me the mindset to become the better version of me. Because when I'm young, I get beat up a lot. I hate everybody. I don't like many human beings because everybody is like got sort of like got sort of like chip in their shoulder. They all want to beat you up for unknown reason. So I did fight a lot, do a lot of naughty stuff as well. So that's how I get into it. And when I met in the Tai Chi master, they're teaching me to become a more calmer, more better understand about human being. And then I changed a lot. When I'm 20, I studied for about 30 years now, 25, 30 years. But I changing a lot since 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, because when you have kids as well, so you don't want, you have kids as well, so you got to think a little bit different. So I changed to become very different from used to be till now. And so then
you think it's one of those things that you've just kind of grown over the years to a better person? Because I knew you were telling me when you were younger, you didn't feel like you were a good person.
That's right.
And do you think that the martial arts is something that had an effect on you in a positive way, or do you think it was more your family?
Yes. It depends who you're training with. I training with many. I train with 4 masters. So each one they equip me with different kind of mindset. Some of the ones that I train with is all fighting. okay, hurting people, and go out there and do some damage to somebody, and that's how it is, okay. And another master, they don't teaching that way. They're teaching about understanding the human being, understanding the mindset, understanding you as a person. So each of the master, they teach me different thing. But overall, the martial art bring me a lot of confidence, because I used to finish school. I won't be able to walk out from school, you know, because when you walk out, people waiting outside ready to fight with you. I go to meet people down to the, I don't know, anywhere, go to the shop, buy some stuff. People pick on you. People want to smack your face in for unknown reason. So martial art give me a lot of confidence to become who you really want to be. Because a lot of time when people train in martial art, the misunderstanding is martial art don't just teach you the mindset, but they teach you to be able to control what you can do to other human being. You know, when you understand how you control another human being and understanding them, then everything else is very easy, because you don't worry anymore, you don't scare people anymore, and you can able to express yourself in a way you want, and you have the freedom of expression. Many people learning a martial art, they just learn to fight, but they don't able to have the confidence to speak to the girl, haven't got confidence to talk to your boss, haven't got confidence to do many things, because two kind of thing. One is you want to go out and do some training, but when you meet people, you don't have that cannot use that confidence and transferable confidence to the real world you live in. Okay, do you understand what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. You know, that's a big thing. That's a big conversation that's been having a lot recently, especially because of my page. A lot of people assume that I'm a anti-traditional martial arts, which I'm not, because I think that traditional martial arts provide you with a lot of good mentality, work ethic, confidence. It gives you a lot of things that you might not necessarily get by just learning how to punch and kick people. And then you have the opposite side, which you have a lot of gyms now. It doesn't even matter what kind of martial arts gym, but you have a lot of gyms now that are teaching you all of the violence, but they're not teaching you how to control yourself. They're not teaching you about discipline and self-respect. And I think that's sad, you know?
That's exactly what happened. You get two kinds of school. One of them is very traditional, talk about moral, talk about becoming a better version of you. Learn to become strong. Learn to believe in yourself. Learn to understanding to be able to helping other human beings. Okay. Another side of school, all the interesting in is smack people facing, beat people up, try to be hard man. Okay. You need to learn both to blend them together, because you got to remember, if you're learning to fight, okay, then yes, it's a time and a place for you to fight somebody. Okay, it's all the time and place. And the moral, you need to learn that as well. Because, baby, if you not learn the moral about the martial art, you can go out. 3 of my students, two of them in jail, are still doing time in jail at the moment because they are to murder. 2 of my instructor is student actually, not instructor, student actually, do for murder. Okay, 2 of them. One of them is doing manslaughter at the moment in there for. One of them got 25, 2 of them got 25 years, one of them got 12 years. Why? Because when I'm young, all I'm interested in is beat people up. I don't interested about moral. I don't interested in fair, because the way I grow up, when I grow up, nobody give me the time and the place. Nobody give me anything. Nobody teach me about moral. Nobody give me any kind of thing to helping me to become the better version of me. All the embed into my brain is how to be strong, how to don't take shit from someone. Okay, so when I'm teaching people, when I'm teaching people when I'm 18, that's all I embed into my student when they train with me. To train with me, in that time people train with me, they need to go through the training by beating up, okay, for 3 weeks constantly. If they can pass that 3 weeks, they can train for free. I don't teaching. They don't need to pay me for it. I teach them for free, but they have to take the punishment to make sure they're tough enough. Okay, to train with me in that time, it's very hard. We just got to beat each other up. It's just got to be hurt. They've got to be pain. They've got to be able to learn to take this. But this is don't teaching the student very good moral. That's why 2 of my students go out. One of them go out, have a drink.
Do you feel obligated, or do you feel responsible for that in some way?
Yes, I know, because I don't know any better. I don't know any better. Because I don't know any better. That's all I can do. I teach them that, because they go to one of them go to nightclub, talking to them girl, and then certainly slap them. and then miss them, okay? Fall down, head hit the concrete, dead, okay? Another one go out nightclub drinking and then try to punch somebody, not land, missing it, and then he's scared, he fall down, trip over again, fall down to the concrete, neck broken, and then dead, okay?
Damn.
So you see, now I just two of them write to me, and I said, oh, Master Wong, you're changing a lot. Oh, this year you're changing a lot to complete this person. That opened my eye, you know, to teaching people to understand. We equip them with things that they don't understand. You know, gun is not killing people, but people kill people. Okay, fist and knee and elbow don't kill people. This shit here, we embed into our student, or embed on people, kill people, because we embed them in the wrong mentality. So I feel bad, you know. I feel bad because of that time. That's why I'm changing a lot to seeking the master to teach me some moral, to learn to understanding, to become more of understanding that you equip with weapon, that you got to be able to use them. That's why online you see some used to be, when I put a lot of stuff on, I do a little bit violent, a lot of swearing, and certainly I tone down quite a lot, and then I tone down a little bit more. It's because it's very easy to teach somebody to hurt someone. You know, people thinking that when you talk some, why you smack on the face, the eyeball, poke on them, and that's very easy because we equip with killing instinct when we're young. When we're born, the day we're born, we are killer inside us. Okay, we don't need to embed that on us, because if you think about, if anyone in any kind of a problem, if they got to any kind of like somebody killing their parent, family, they turn to become the killer. You know, because that's how we born. We are born killer. Okay, so we don't need to equip that to our students, to people, because they don't need them. But if we can equip them with the mindset of understanding how to not get into this situation if they don't have to, okay, then it saves their life, okay, because otherwise their life is messed up, and because their life is messed up, what you gonna do? You know, you're gonna sit there and say, oh my God, you know what I mean? So it's all depend on the country you're in and what is it about, and you always look at the situation you are in. If the situation you're in, you need to deploy them kind of violence to stopping somebody right away, then yes, you have to do so. But certain you don't need to, then you don't need to. But people don't understand it. They're thinking like everything to go be violent. Do you understand what I mean? Because you got to remember, you not just a judge. You got a judge beyond you. Okay? Because I'm teaching a lot of lawyers as well. And my lawyer over England just said, end of the day, if you get in trouble, okay, it doesn't matter right or wrong. They're sitting there on the top. They don't know any form of martial art at all. And if you hurt somebody, okay, you're the one is going to go to jail because they don't know what is it all about. So it's the country you're in, and if you need to deploy the deadly force, then you deploy them. But think before you act. Otherwise, it's the big problem. But again, if you don't act and understand about awareness, and then you get killed, like Pit Master always say, if you do it not in the right time, you will be dead, or you will be injured and sit in a hospital, and you're going to have a nightmare. Okay, so all about understanding.
That's something that comes up quite a bit. It's because there is no regulating body for martial arts. It's something that has been discussed for a long time. No one controls martial arts in general, right? There's nobody overseeing it. So we have to regulate ourselves as a community. And we have to be able to talk to each instructor individually and make sure that we're all on the same page. Somebody did, but to add to that point is, the question that's arisen before was, who's responsible when the student gets hurt or hurts someone else? Is it the student or is it the instructor? Because we have that one thing, of course, I like to call people out on their stuff, but when it comes to like safety, that's what I care about. I care about students being safe and having a good experience in the martial arts, no matter what they're getting out of it. And people often ask, well, if the student learns BS martial arts or martial arts that doesn't work, should the instructor be responsible for that in some way? But you also just brought up another point. Well, what happens if the student hurts people a lot? Should the instructor be responsible for that as well? And I think that's a heavy question. What do you think?
It is a heavy question. Now, this is very important. Now, if the student no good, it's nothing to the instructor. Okay? And if a student hurts someone, it's about the instructor teaching and embed the information into the student. Okay, that's what is it. If the student learning and the instructor embed all day long, like killing and hurting and all the time, that's what student gonna happen when the shit happening. When something happen, all you gotta do is just kill somebody. But when I teach a student, always remember the basic rule: safety of yourself must come first. Number one. Okay, if your safety not come first, it's a nightmare. So it's all about situation awareness, understanding about situation. Every situation is very different. Okay, time, place, and a method of attack. Everything is considered in that kind of environment. So if you're going out and then going out in a place to want to hurt someone, okay, that's a very different. So if you go in a place to have a nice time and something happen, you defend yourself, okay, and then you hurt the other person, then that's a very different, because they're forced it onto you, and you got to do whatever it takes to eliminate this situation, okay. But I think it's a lot to do with the student learning and the instructor. If the student know good, the technique don't work. Now, Sal from IDO say this thing in the Super Show is very perfect. Everything work and nothing work. Do you understand? Everything work and nothing work. It's the time and the place for you to use any kind of thing. Okay, you got to understand in two basic rules. If you get in any kind of confrontation in the street, it's always the time, place, and the method of attack. Three basic rules: time, place, and the method of attack. Okay, somebody gonna attack you, they're choosing the time. Okay, and they're choosing the place, and then using the method of attack you, then using differently. They're using punching, they're using weapon, they're using suffocation, they're using all sort of things to get rid of you, because they're planning try to hurt you. Okay, but sometimes you're going out and then you come in a certain situation, you don't know what's going on, and certainly shit happen and you have to defend yourself. Then you need to understand about awareness. Okay, awareness is the most important thing, because if you don't aware of what's going on around you and something happened in that place that dealing with cocaine, or in that place that people fighting and hurting people, and you go there, okay, you will get yourself in the situation right away. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So everything is considered about awareness, knowing yourself, okay, about what you can and cannot do. And one basic thing is you need to understand as well, it's very important, and people need to understand as well. Whatever you're training on the school or in the lesson is a empty place, and it got no obstacle. Okay, it's a safety environment. Okay, nobody gonna hurt you. You got one person to dealing with, you and your instructor, or you and your partner, and nobody around there to try and bottle you. Okay, but now the problem is you transfer that into the real world. When you go out in the street, not just got you, another person, and not another people, everybody shouting, talking, obstacle everywhere. Okay, if you don't understanding this, okay, the basic thing is just the normal push you, not even punch you, normal push. You're hitting some obstacle, it's very sharp, and that will penetrate through your back. You're dead, man. It doesn't matter how much martial art you learn, and if you don't aware about they've got 2 or 3 more people around them, you will get killed. Because soon you're punching somebody, and then you don't look behind the front of them while you're looking, they're going to go wang and break your neck. You're dead. Okay? There's so much involved, okay, into understand. Okay? People don't understand it. They're thinking like what they're doing in the lesson, they can transfer that in the real world. It's not. It don't work like that. Okay? What you do in a lesson is transferable if you're understanding the method of how the street or the how or the situation. You might go into the bar that got loads of people around you. If you do taekwondo, now your taekwondo don't work anymore. Okay? If you go into the toilet, for instance, okay? If you go in the toilet, for instance, obstacle everywhere. Okay? If you don't understand in close quarter, then you're not going to able to deploy any of this movement you're using. So it's many things that God need to take consider, because there's a time, place, and a method of attack. Because no one would attack you in an open spot like this, and then you're going to be ready for attack. Nobody do that.
Yeah, when I was something that I've always learned was ranges of combat, and so understanding how to handle yourself in different ranges, how close you are into somebody, and how much movement you have is pretty important to be able to learn how to defend yourself. Now, I do have some questions. People have been asking some questions, so I just want to kind of get to them. Let's see here. Peter Gibbs asked a question. He says, Question, Master Wong, would you consider training a fighter for MMA, amateur or pro matches? And also he says you rock.
I got the team a team that I'm teaching at the moment for the boxing as well that some MMA guy as well. Yes, I'm teaching them as well. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're already training.
The thing is, I want to mention it that people know. Okay, otherwise people don't know. They're just thinking all the time that I do the stuff online. That's all I do. Okay, that's all I do. You remember, I control what I want you to see and what I don't want you to see. Do you understand? People don't understanding a lot of things I do with a lot of different people. I don't want you to see. Okay. Okay. So don't thinking like a lot of things that I don't do online, like showing people, meaning that I don't do them. I do a lot of stuff, but I don't show people because sometimes people understand they've got a misconception of different things. If I do certain thing with certain people in a special unit, they're thinking too violent. This guy breathe violent, killing people. Okay. When I take my student in, I always ask my student very basic question. What job do you do? Okay. What job do you do? And what can you use before I teaching the martial art fit into them? Okay. If they are work in a place, I will ask them the basic question. What sort of equipment allowed to you? Can you use shooting? Can you use baton? Can you use taser? Can you use hand? What is it can you do? And then I'm teaching according to what they need. Okay. If I'm teaching a lawyer, I'm teaching completely different thing. I don't teach them violent stuff. I'm teaching restraint, control. If I'm teaching I got like doctor, he's a surgery. Okay, surgery, like cut people up and then do brain surgery. I don't teach anything to punching, to breaking their fist. Okay, I'm teaching to stuff like calm, like Tai Chi, understanding to focus. Because when you do surgery, if they made a mistake, they kill somebody. Do you understand that? So it's a lot of things I do that people don't understanding. That when people come to see me, I look at a person, what sort of people are they? Then I tailor along what sort of martial art or what sort of skills that need to deploy. Because if you deploy them wrong, you can't use them for your job or can't use for everything you use.
I want to add something. Somebody just made a comment, and I want to say that this is kind of important. So they said, Konstantin Wudelovich, whatever that is, said, and you lost me. I don't show everything what I do. I think he might have misunderstood you because I can tell you for a fact, there's tons of stuff I don't show people about my life.
Exactly.
Because it's none of your fucking business.
Exactly.
That's the truth. And so if you think, like, look at you, by the way, I'm just throwing it out there that you said, and you lost me, I don't show everything. Literally, you don't even have a profile picture of your face. So you can't say that you don't show everything because you're literally not even showing your face right now. So I would toss out there that when you're online and you have a lot of people, which I think there's only a few people on this planet who can really get and understand. But when you have a big following, there's some crazy fucking people on this planet. And they will want to find out where you live. They're going to want to find out everything about you. They're going to stalk you. I get death threats. I'm sure you get death threats. So yeah, I agree. You don't get to see everything we do. That's just the truth. And he's not talking about, he said secret knowledge. He's not talking about secret knowledge.
Exactly.
He teaches pretty much everything that he's showing. But what he is saying is he's not going to give you everything about his life. And I think that that's fair to understand.
Exactly.
There's also a little bit of a language barrier. So don't assume everything. So I'm just calling out there. I just wanted to interject, but I will hop on to somebody else's next question because I think it is important for you to understand that when you are an online personality, we don't share everything with you. You don't get that. We get privacy. Right. We get life. You know what I'm saying? We get to live our own life. You think we want to walk around the fucking street all day looking over our shoulder because there's some psycho online who wants to take us out? Fuck that. So anyway, moving on. I'll get to some of those questions.
Another thing I want to add on from there as well. Every time I going out or do anything, a lot of people everywhere that meet me. I understand. People don't understand. Oh, you just hi. Everything I do, like when you see me in the Vegas Super Show, I monitor everything. I keep an eye on everybody, and I'm understanding what are they, who are they, before I get close or doing some stuff. Because you don't know friend or foe out there. You don't know what sort of people are they, man. Know yourself, know your enemy, man. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Trust me, I have to look over my shoulder a lot. So I do want to get to the next question, although it's kind of a silly question, but I'll go ahead and I'll be respectful to these people's time. But they said, James Wang, he said, will you fight Zhu Xiaodong And in case you guys don't know who that is, he's the gentleman in China who is
currently... Yes, I know what is it. I know who is it.
Yeah, and I don't see why you would fight him because he's not.
So let me question that for you, James Wang. Okay, James Wang. Let me question that for you. Remember in life, okay, fight for importance, fight for your life, fight for somebody you love, and look after yourself. Don't do stupid thing because you're dead and your mom will not happy because she raised you that much and getting old like that, and then you're dead for no reason. So remember in life, you need to remember basic rule. Fight something you love, or say, fight for something you love, okay? Fight for your health, look after yourself, and fight for the people around you, okay? Like your family. Anything else, if you try to be stupid, you will be lay in a coffin, okay? Because some of my students, it's happened to them, okay? And I don't want any of you not out there thinking that you're tough, you fight this to prove yourself. It's nothing there to prove, okay? It's nothing there to prove. And people like that, like him, for instance, go around and challenge people. Big problem. He have a big lawsuit in China at the moment. And not just that, a lot of them people want to cut his throat at the moment. So don't thinking like you can go out there and try to be like America, go to every country, try to take over every country and try to beat people up. It's just like that kind of mentality, man. You know, it's just something wrong with you, you know?
You know, and I have to say one thing. I think that one thing that the zoo has done has opened the eyes of people about that kind of stuff. Obviously, I don't go around challenging everybody. If I did that, I would have absolutely no time on my hands to live a good life. But I also don't believe that dojo storming is the answer to helping the problem. I think that there are fakes and frauds and phonies out there, which is why I started this page. And I do think that they should be called out for their bullshit. But at the same time, I treat it like a anti-smoking campaign. And when they did the anti-smoking truth campaigns in the United States, they didn't go to the president of Marlboro and punch him in the face 5 times. That's not going to help the problem. What you really need is more information and more communication. And if you have those things, then you can make your own decisions.
I think, that particular one that you mentioned is important, people, to understand. You raise awareness. If you really want to help another human being, raise some awareness and tell people what is it and let people think for themselves. You go out there and challenge people. This doesn't mean that students don't come to them. People like to go to train with this master, that master for a reason why they train with them, okay? Now, if other people out there got a problem with that, I'm thinking like they're conning them, okay? Now, this is human being, okay? So it's like a church, okay? If you're thinking that all the church out there conning people, okay, they go to church for many reasons, okay? They go and seek for these people for many reasons, okay? Now, if you want to raise awareness and you go out, raise the awareness, people know and understand, but you go and challenge people and try to do this, do that. Somebody, what about somebody come along, challenge you and shoot and blow your head away? That mean what? That mean what? You understand what I mean? So you have to understanding is, you go out there, doesn't mean somebody can get so pissed with you, they will cut your throat, they will kill you. And then what happened? What happened then? That mean you raise awareness? No, you just there for yourself. You just there to let people know about you. But people like you, they like you. If you want to raise awareness, run a campaign, show people about it, go to different places, share some knowledge and let people know. And it's like this, martial art, what a different martial art to restaurant, okay? A lot of restaurants selling shit food and you open a restaurant selling good food. That means you're going to go there and challenge them, telling them that close your business down because your food is shit. Why is martial art but not in other business? Like insurance company, like internet company, like also this company. Why is martial art? Because you're thinking, why? Think about this. Use your brain and think about that.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing this job for about 6 years now, and I've never thought about that. So that's very interesting to me.
You see, why? Why martial art? Why? Because you see the Chinese guy or another guys that have been training, and then you think you can beat them up, okay? And then you go out there because they don't train for the same reason, okay? Now, take this perspective, okay? If you go out there, go to his place, and then try to cut his daughter's throat and see he will fight you to death or not, okay? Let's try that kind of mentality in your brain and see. When you put people to challenging, you put in rules that people don't train for, okay? They don't train for that. And that's why you're disadvantaged, because you put in a guy MMA training every day, punch in the back, and have the moral go and hurt someone, and somebody practicing Tai Chi, all their fucking thinking is for health, and you try to beat them up, and then you're thinking you're a good guy. Why don't they compare to the same? Okay, if I got a 45 mil gun, you got a 45 mil gun, then let's shoot and see who win. But if you got a 45 mil and I got a bazooka, that's not fucking fair, is it? You understand what I mean? And sometimes you got to understand people train for warfare and people train not for warfare. You need to take this from in perspective and understand, okay? And if you really want to really pissed off with this bloody instructor, okay, or him, sort out in a slightly different way. Because if this is not helping anyone, making the whole community of martial like the fucking like the prostitute, you know what I mean? It's just shit. It's just not healthy at all.
Definitely. Now I will say this. It looks like Lauren Papow has a question and says, this is something that me and you discussed at the Super Show, so it'll be interesting to just kind of talk through. But he's got a little bit of online beef going on with Ramsey Dewey. Master Wong just has to accept the fight. I'd love to see it, make it happen. Now, I will say this. You just talked about your reasons for fighting, which was your family, yourself, things you're passionate about. You're more than welcome to talk about this however you'd like, but what is your opinion on that?
I think I won't give these people the benefit of the doubt, even mention the goddamn name. I mean, like I mentioned before, I talked on my video, and don't fuck with the elephant. Elephant stamp ant, and don't fuck with elephant. Simple. And don't talk to ant. When you get to my level, then talk to me. Then talk about it. Don't talk to me about this shit. It's like somebody talking to someone else. It's like, what the hell do I want to talk to you about? What do I want to prove? If I bash your face in, I'm lose because I'm bully. If I'm lose, I'm lose. What is it there for? It's like Pitmaster say something very interesting, like fucking the fat chick. You know what I mean? It's like, why the fuck you fuck around with the fat chick for? I mean, what the fuck wrong with you? So it's the same basic principle, you don't mess around with shit that you don't like. You know what I mean? But life is this. Why do you want to dedicate your time to have this problem that you can dedicate your time to helping another human being to become the better version of themselves? Why the fuck do you need to dedicate your time argument with this kind of people for? Why? I mean, I don't give your time with a goddamn day for it. You know what I mean? I would dedicate my time to helping another human being to learning to become awareness, learning to become the better version of themselves, learning to become the better citizen. Then I'm getting a lot more benefit and a lot more kick out of that because I have passion of helping people. Why want to argue with this idiot for? I mean, what's the point? If I argue with them, I put a video, I talk about my piece. People said, "Man, you, what is it? What they're saying? You don't accepting the truth." I said, "What truth? What you talking about? When you don't know about somebody or don't know what they do, you shouldn't open your mouth, because God give you mouth to eat and to talk and give you the ear to listen, not about say anything and without consequence. Do you understand what I mean? And this is the problem with these people here. If about 10 years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, I mean, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's not going to be this situation. I will be fly over there. I will be hunt them down. I will be fucking slot them straight away. But this is not me anymore. I don't want, if I like that, how many times I need to be like this? You understand what I mean? Another person are going to give me a lot of headache. I mean, why do you want to put up with this idiot or this kind of people? You know what I mean? Instead of like trying to concentrate on something positive and helping another human being to become the more better of themselves. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Do you feel like now, obviously you have another kid on the way, you already have a child, and you seem pretty happy with your life, and you seem happy with your family, and the fact that you get to teach martial arts for a living is amazing. You get to affect a lot of people. Do you feel like you're a little bit more at peace now with yourself?
Yes, because you made a difference. You understand? You made a difference. You feel good about life. I go to Super Show. I give everybody time of the day. Everybody come and talk to me about anything we talk about. People want to share some skill. We share some skill. That's how I met Pitmaster. That's how I met people like Global, meeting the GM, meeting the Sound Ideal. All these like-minded people, we get together and we impact a lot of people and try to help people. And that is what it's all about. But if I always go, then look at me, I'm this, I'm that. People are not going to give you the time to talk shit to you, like the president of Century, vice president. All these are people because we're there to impact the helping people. We're not there to be try to be violent and try to be like everything else. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
If this kind of people can get into this show, like the super show, you know, get invited to be there, okay? Talk about things. Let's see if they got chance to be able to people give them a time of the day, like me helping people like UFC gym promoting this, sharing the people coming to training martial art to help them to become a little bit more healthier. People like in Spa Bar, the people like get bullied and get them into the training onto the boxing, get them to become a bit more better, to become the next generation of the boxing champion. Now this is something that made you feel proud. I don't feel proud go out there and slack the other people off and slack these people off. Why do you want to do that? Only people do that because they don't know themselves. They haven't got anything to themselves. That's why they just love to have what I got, but they fucking haven't gotten. So they're going to sit there and shouting and grow, they're talking shit about it. You know what I mean? But what can I do? I can't change them.
You really can't stop people from talking shit. You know, we talked about this the other day on Instagram, and the truth is that at best, at the very best, like Apple, for instance, right? One of the best companies in the goddamn world, one of the biggest companies in the world, right? You're only going to make 50% of the people happy.
Exactly.
The other, at the best, that's the best you could hope for is an F, right? I mean, 50% of the test is an F. The best you can hope for is to fail, because you're not going to make everybody happy, right? But the best thing you can do is just do the fucking best you can and be happy with your life, you know? And so there always, no matter who you are, there are going to be people who are going to challenge your thoughts, your mentalities and stuff like that. I personally think that when people challenge my thought processes, it makes me grow as a person. I don't need to go fight that person, and I don't need to get angry about what they say, but they're helping me grow because they're challenging my thoughts, and I appreciate the fuck out of that. Now,
another good thing I can add it on is all these people talk about me, especially when I do the red naked joke. I didn't do them. Some of the other guys that invited me to it, and they put the hand wrong, and people try to slack me up and stuff like that. I get into a lot into the BJJ community. A lot of people know me about it. Now I need to thank them for that. You know, without that, I won't get into the community. Another thing is a lot of people talking shit about, like the idiot talk shit about me in China. A lot of people in China know about me. Now, when I pass in Vegas and walk into the casino, quite a group of people in China come over and say, Master Wong, man, I love your stuff. I said, how do you know? I said, oh yeah, for that video. So I need to thank them for all the stuff that do good stuff for me, you know. Because of them as well, I can travel a lot of different parts of the world. So I need to thank them for all the things they do, because without them people, I won't grow and as a person. So it's good, you know, it's all positive, you know, it's all positive. But
I think it's all in how you look at it. You know, you can look at somebody who thinks differently than you and get pissed off and angry and attack them. Or you could look at somebody who thinks differently than you, and either you can try to correct the behavior, but maybe they won't change. That's up to them. Or you can treat it like a growing experience and go, you know what? They do this, I won't do that. Maybe this is how I need to treat my students better. You know, you can learn from people two different ways. People can treat you they can teach you what you can do to make yourself better, or they can teach you what not to fucking do. You're still learning. You're still learning. I've learned a lot of what not to do from a lot of fucked up people. Somebody did say, who was your master? So who was your master?
So this is one thing I don't put in on YouTube or Facebook for my system. So I will say one thing: none of your motherfucking business, and I won't talk about that because why? Because it's when I training my master, one thing we do is if you do good, it's good. If you do bad, it is owned by him. So don't create a bad name for him. So my master is very, very tradition. And if you do, we know by the heart that who the master is and how we treat them. But we don't brag ourselves who I'm training with, and I do. But if I tell you, most of you, a lot of you will know who they are. And because of this, when about 4 or 5 years ago, I had a little bit of argument with my master about this kind of stuff before, and that's why I don't talk about that from day one when I put the stuff on internet. So I never will, because it's just not very good. Not very good for them. Not very good for him. Because sometimes like this, for instance, I get a lot of slacking off. A lot of people talk shit about me, and then reflect on him. I said, if your masters are good, why don't you prove to people? So I don't want to make them have the headache of thinking about what I'm doing outside of the inner training relationship with me and him. So I don't want the internet affecting him, like the social media affecting him. So no, that's what I don't do. When I don't tell people about, even Pitmaster, I don't talk about it. Even people close to me, I don't talk to them about it. Because when you tell people, people tell people. Okay, so that's what I say on one of my videos. I put it ages ago, about 10 years ago. I said, none of your motherfucking business. This is my business, not your business. Next question.
Yeah, he actually said, do you do meditation to focus your mind? Do you meditate?
Yeah, in the morning we do I do Tai Chi. I do a lot of Tai Chi and Qigong training. So I do meditate a lot. Yeah.
I have a personal question, because there is a guy who I took a seminar from one of his students, and I know for a fact that he is full of shit. And right. he does a Tai Chi version, but I've seen Tai Chi done, and I've seen it done as like for health purposes and for fitness and flexibility. And it's also something that I wanted to do when I was old. I was like, I'm just going to do this when I'm old, and this will help me keep my mind calm and keep in the martial arts somehow. But there's a guy, his name is Adam Misner. And I have seen his bullshit for years, and he talks at his ass. And I'm just curious, like in Tai Chi, are there a lot of different like factions, like a lot of different people who teach this, and some people are full of shit and some people aren't, or what?
Sometimes not for. If I start to talk about that, then I know different to other people. So in my opinion, very simple. I put like this: look at it the way you like it. Okay. Look at it the way you like it. If you like how he do things, go and train with him. If you don't like it, don't train with them. It's as simple as that. Now, of course, everything is about how they do things, mythical, and a lot of things you can talk about, a lot of breathing, a lot of mythical stuff. Go down to the basic rule. The rule is it helps your health, breathing, straight your spine to help you have a good posture. Good onto the calming side. Practice some movement, get your body flow well, and understanding some principle about self-defense. Okay, now that's what you want to take away from it. Anything else is up to you, how you take it into what level you want to be. If you sit there and say meditate so much and I can concentrate on a move object, now that's only for you to know. Okay, for you to believe. If they turn around, they punch you one, and then they've got a lot of energy, chi force into you. It's only for you to know. Okay, so you have to see that for yourself. Okay, you need to have some intelligence enough to see, is it guy good or not good. You need to have some intelligence, because as much as you can listen to people so much, they're saying, oh, he's good, he's that, he this. But you, as a person seeking knowledge, have to be filled and doing and understanding and have the really good vibe with a person. If you haven't got a good vibe with them, it's like you go out with a woman to become your wife. It's not got a good vibe with a woman. You're not going to take her home and then get married to her. Then 2 weeks later, she divorce you and she take everything you got. Do you understand what I mean? Now you're bad at character judgment. You're not very good at judgment. That's your fault. That's your problem. No one else. You can't turn around. Somebody turn around. This woman is no good. Okay, once upon a time you sleep with her, you feel good. What happened afterward? Do you understand what I mean? Different to the martial art side. When he talking, when he do stuff, or when he talk about things, you believe in it. He start to brainwash you. You put you inside to that mode. But soon you come out of that, then you're lost in trust. You disbelief. Now it's only you can decide that. Okay, no one else is. So for me, I don't judge no one. Okay, I don't judge no one. I don't tell people this is right, this is wrong. I don't. Personally, myself, I let people do whatever they're doing, and then let them think of themselves, because you have to learn to think for yourself. Because only for the martial art instructor or master, we only can say so much.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. Bad timing. I am so sorry. I have a vacuum cleaner, and it automatically goes off at this time.
Oh, okay.
And it's loud as shit. So, but yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. You know, it's a fine line because I have some pretty strict rules that I give myself with this website and things that I call out and things like that. And you know, I try to only stick to the things that are relevant, I think, to every art. Like, and I'm curious your thoughts. So I have 5 rules, and then I'll get back to people's questions because people have quite a few.
Okay.
The rules are pretty simple. One is I don't believe pedophiles should be in the martial arts, and I don't believe they should be around children. And I don't care what art you teach, how good you are at martial arts. The moment you molest a child, fuck you. You're gone. You don't need to be in this community. 2 is I don't believe people should lie about their belt rank or fight record. I know that people like myself, we had to bleed and go through those training camps and have those fights and those interactions. And I had to sacrifice to be able to get to the belt level we were at. If you're a blue belt and you want to teach other people, fucking do it. I don't care. But just don't lie about your belt rank. The next one is don't rip people off. Just don't steal from people. It's not that hard. You know, if somebody paid for a month of classes, you give them a month of classes. If they paid for a private lesson, you give them the full private lesson. You don't strong arm them and you don't threaten them for their money. That's another big one. And then 4 and 5 are simple. 1 is you can't knock people out with your mind. I don't give a damn how powerful your chi is. You cannot knock people out with your thoughts. You can't stop someone who's attacking you with a knife with your thought. I can't go, and then they fall over dead. Shit doesn't work, and it's a dangerous precedence to do to somebody because you're going to get them killed if they really believe it. And then what was the last one? I think I just said 4. Shady business practices, no pedophiles, don't lie about your belt rank. You can't. And unsafe. And you just talked about one, actually. You were telling that you were basically saying that 2 people died this way, but unsafe training practices. You have to train safe. You have to train safely. We're not fighting people for real when we're training. We're training to train to do that. Right. And when people are doing full contact kickboxing out on concrete, like that's dangerous. Or when people let their students stand in a line and just tee off by punching them in the face, that's dangerous. You're going to create a concussion. There's a problem there. And so those are the 5 rules that I stick to. I personally don't give 2 shits how long it takes for you to get your black belt. Don't fucking care. I think that you should be an adult because I think it's very similar to like a car. It's a responsibility. And we don't give 2-year-olds keys to your car. They're not mentally prepared for that. Hell, we don't even give 12-year-olds keys to the car. They're not mentally prepared for that lesson yet. So I do believe that you should be at least an adult before you receive a black belt, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. Everybody's different. I've seen people who got their black belts before then who grew up to be legends in this industry. So, but if you look at somebody like BJ Penn got his black belt in like 2 or 3 years in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys look down upon Taekwondo guys who get their black belts in under 4 years. And it's like, well, we have to make that's why I don't bother with that shit because it's so up to interpretation. But those are my 5 rules. Those are things that I stick to. Other than that, have at it. I don't give a shit.
I think that's a perfect thing that you're saying, like pedophiles that shouldn't be around children because if I got a kid, I don't want any fucking pedophile around there because I cut the hand off. That's as simple as that. It's bad. It's not meant to be there. And second thing is like you mentioned, that's very interesting. It's about safety. And it don't matter how you train, you can train hard, but with safety. Because student, we're not going to go to the war here. So we don't need to be like that at the moment. You understand what I mean? Because you're training very differently. The mindset is very different. And third thing is, you got that right. All this power and things like that. End of the day, if you really believe that can happen, then that's not our fault. You go through that and then see what happens. Somebody whack you in the face and see really what happened. But it's reality. But this is what happened. A lot of time people just don't understand that. They're thinking it always got a mystery behind thing. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's good to either visit or go and see people and play around because you give them people the idea. What I mean?
That was one thing that kind of surprised me about you, to be honest. Like you were saying, your online personality is not who you are. You have your online side, how you present yourself online, and then how you teach a class is very passionate, but it's a lot more giving, I guess you could say. And you said this the other day too, if anybody was actually listening to our Instagram when we were just chit-chatting. But you know, your goal is to teach people, and you really enjoy teaching people. But when I noticed, one thing I noticed about meeting you at the Super Show was you were going to different booths. All the at the Super Show, just in case anybody doesn't know, there are different like setups, like a booth, and I don't know, there was like 50 or 60 different booth setups there. Yeah. And there were programs for sword fighting. There was programs for jiu-jitsu. There was programs for Krav Maga. There's programs for pretty much everything there that you can think of. And you were going, and you shut the fuck up, and you were actually listening to what they had to say. You were listening to them teach you shit. And I noticed you do that all the way around the thing. So I think that that's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah, because sometimes you got to understand when you go there, few things I do. One, I give them a shout out on my Instagram. Oh yeah, at Super Show I met this person, that person, and then give them some shout out so people know them. Second, everybody have thing to teach. Everybody have thing to teach. Everybody got thing to say. So listen and learn. Yeah, that's why we're in this particular environment for learning. We're not there to see how big our dick is. You know what I mean? It is not the competition for how big you are, because you're not there for looking for the beautiful woman. We're not in the place that in try to prove ourselves that we can. That girl look at me. I need to show them I'm better. It's not in this environment for that. So you have to learn to share your love, just share your passion, and share your in with the community, so people know about you. Because if you don't, it's just going to be a nightmare. You understand what I mean? Because you don't know what they can do for you, can help you on, improve you in any form of way.
Now we have probably about 15 more minutes till we hit our hour. So I try not to go too long over that, because to be honest, whenever people on YouTube decide to look at a video or not, if it's over an hour, they don't typically watch the shit. And I think it's kind of important that they actually hear what you have to say. So I'm just going to kind of breeze through some of these as we go.
Let's go for some comment quickly then.
So this is Elise Hado. She said, "Hi, Master Wong," or he or she, I'm sorry. "Thank you for your videos. My brother and I appreciate your videos. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, ideas, and sense of humor. It is hard to get concepts across. You don't need to fight anyone in MMA. Please keep doing what you're doing. You have 2 fans in what seems to be Australia." So that's pretty awesome. Let's see here. There is always somebody bigger. I think these people were commenting on stuff we were talking about earlier, but yeah, I agree. There's always somebody bigger and stronger than you.
Exactly.
Let me see here. Somebody said, "Master Wong, what is your opinion on a superior martial art? What do you think the superior martial art is?"
No superior martial art, man. It's no such thing as that. It's only you.
And then John was giving you a hard time about calling him out for his awesome fat chick quote.
Yeah, but that's what is it? Because it's a funny stuff to learn to understand, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And then Matt Hill Sims says, "You seem like a pretty solid dude." I also agree. Let's see here. I'm just going to keep going. John says, "Don't let anyone take your lunch money." And I agree, Pitmaster. Nobody's taking my fucking lunch money. It's my lunch money. Let's see here. Much respect. Okay, here we go. Somebody said, sorry, I'm just trying to get to the questions, and people more popping up. Efran says, he have a good system. I guess that means you. But he won't escape a rear naked choke done by a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. Master Wong's stand-up might be good, but will drown in the ground. That is the ocean of BJJ practitioner. He needs to get into a challenge with an MMA fighter to prove his style is effective. And we already talked about that, which is obviously you're a little bit more at peace. You don't feel like you need to prove anything by fighting people. We talked about that for a while, so we don't need to beat a dead horse. Let's see here. Is Tai Chi involved in the spirits world? I mean, if you meditate and practice Tai Chi, do spirits surround you?
It all depends on how deep you get in there, but not really, no. You got practice a lot of Qigong training to be able to understand that. But then again, you got to be clean like the monk. You got eat vegetable, breathe clean air, and have the no bad thought in your mind before you can able to feel things around you. Because we're so busy with everything, computer, phone, everything else. You won't feel anything. People stop you. You don't feel it. So no, you have to be clean.
Let's see here. Malcolm Sharp says, I have seen some of this guy's videos. I think he would have no trouble defeating or defending himself from just about anyone he met on the street. MMA, maybe not, but most people never get into it with an MMA fighter.
That's very true.
I mean, you're not an MMA fighter, so yeah, you probably have a hard time in MMA because, I mean, shit, it's not something you do. Let's see here. It says, I feel vibrations when I meditate and practice Tai Chi. I reached the point where I was capable to transfer this vibrate to my friend. That is very strange. I'm just going to skip over that guy's stuff from here on out. Don't be weird. Alex, I wish I had gotten to this sooner. I respect both of you, Master Wong, for trying to keep an art that's been so kicked down like Wing Chun alive, which is something that I think you do fairly well. And then Mr. McDojoLife himself for being a scholar and a paragon of quality martial arts. Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate the fuck out of that because trust me, there's a lot of hate that gets thrown this way. So it's nice whenever somebody, whenever you get a compliment. Let's see here. Moving on. So, Bara, people should do more research about martial arts before judging. Chinese martial arts is very deadly. I think that there are definitely some aspects of every martial art that's a little deadly. So, let's see here. Oh, this is an interesting one. Paul, he said, Sifu Wong, any plans for Sonda training video?
What is Sonda training?
Sonda is, it's like a more of a full contact kung fu, I guess you could say. It's definitely
Santa. Is it Santa?
Yes, sir.
Santa. Okay. We do Santa like kickboxing, Chinese kickboxing. Yeah.
Yes.
But I used to teaching a lot of students to compete in England quite long. That's why I know of Kung Lee. You know Kung Lee. Kung Lee is a Santa king. Kung Lee. You know Kung Lee. He's a Strike Force UFC Strike Force champion. So about 15 years ago, we do a lot of that. In about 15 years ago, that's how we know of Kung Lee as well. Yeah.
And this is interesting. Mike Farron says, how many Chinese martial artists hold an MMA title? I'm pretty sure there are quite a few, but
yeah, but it doesn't really matter. They're not, some of them train for that and some not. In China now, they spend a lot of people training a lot of that for MMA now as well. Okay, so later as you go, you will see more and more Chinese doing MMA. But this doesn't mean that Kung Fu they're doing is the same. You get what I mean? Because they're completely different level of fighting.
I treat martial arts like magic. I used to live with a magician, believe it or not, for a while. And there's different types of magic. You have card magic, you have coin magic, you have what's called ball and cup magic, you have grand illusion magic, you have up close magic, you have stage magic. There's all kinds of different magic. And each one gives you a different result, right? A different experience. Martial arts is like that. You have stunt people. Could some of the stunt people kick the shit out of you? Some of them could. Like Kit Dale could fuck you up. Kit Dale's a stunt guy, right? He's also a jiu-jitsu world champion, but he's a stunt guy now. So all the stunt people that he works with do stunt work. So you can't expect the stunt work people to jump out and just beat the shit out of an MMA fighter. It's not always about that. Or fuck it. I like Shaw Brothers Kung Fu. I love those old Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movies, right? I think they're awesome. So if we kick the shit out of everybody who did Kung Fu and we downed them and we made it so no one else did Kung Fu, you're going to miss this beautiful art because no one's going to fucking carry it on anymore because there's too many people who are assholes that won't allow them to entertain us with their beautiful art. So exactly. I think every martial art's a little different and should be treated so. Let's see here. Somebody said snake oil Kung Fu. Hopefully you get the opportunity, Adam Ross, to go through and listen to what we were talking about. I think it'd be very eye-opening for you. Hey, Master Wong, how do you feel about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
I love it. You know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we do them in our training. We do a lot of that as well. I love every style, every martial art. You know, don't think we don't do this, we don't do that. We do a lot of different things. But the thing about this is people need to understanding is everything they have the flavor like buffet. Learn, take what you're used for and reject what useless for you. So you got to understand that time and place for everything to be deployed. You understand what I mean? And I love all different. I don't slack any martial art off. Like judo is good. Everything that I play. Boxing is good. People say destroy the boxer on the Wing Chun side. Oh, boxer, you're going to fight a real boxer. We should illustrate, you know. But
I had a really good opportunity to speak with Mike Swain. I don't know if you met Mike Swain or not, but he's a 4-time Olympic judo competitor for the Olympic judo team for the U.S. And he was a bronze medalist in Olympic judo. And when we talked for about 40 minutes to an hour or so. And then whenever we talked, Mr. Jiu-Jitsu, I fucking love that dude. But when we talked, he told me straight up that he didn't think that judo was a self-defense art. And this is probably one of the most upper echelon people in judo. So I think it's really important that people take time to listen, you know.
Yeah. Now he's got that just right. If we talk about self-defense or somebody gonna get a knife and stab you, then it's different. But if you get close struggling with a judo guy, he will slam you down the ground. We're working with some judo guy up where we are here. He's a judo champion. You get close to him and you will see if he's going to get you and slam you down, break your goddamn hip or not, you know? Very, very good. It's like I mentioned, it's a time and a place for all the art to deploy. It depends how it happened. Okay, if a long range judo is no good because it's a long range. But if you struggle in a real fight, you know we struggle with people and grab hold of people. And if you grab hold of you, you want to go down like a sack of shit. So don't thinking that it's no good. It's just got to think about it's a time and a place for each thing to be good, to be used, you know?
Yes, sir. I agree completely. And by the way, I don't know if you've ever watched Mr. Jiu-Jitsu's stuff, but it's very inspirational. If you ever get a chance, anybody, even yourself, Mr. Jiu-Jitsu, you got to watch this dude. He was actually the very first person I ever interviewed. So I love this dude. I really appreciate him giving me a chance. But
is it he or she?
He's a great dude.
He is a he.
It's a he. Yeah, it's a he.
Oh, okay.
And he's very inspirational in what he posts, and he tries to help out as many people as he can in the community. People who don't have places to train, he finds them training partners, gives them advice.
Oh, wicked.
He's helped out a lot of people. I think that it's awesome to have him in the community. So, wicked. And also he's a bald guy, so he's giving you some bald head props. He said Master Wong shaped head is on.
And if we need to hook up, and that's what we all about. Everybody have place, and everybody here for one basic reason only: it's share and helping another human being. If anybody do that, it doesn't matter how you do it. If you do that, you're a good human being, and that is it. Okay.
Now I will wrap up. I do have one question I asked everybody, and one I want to say I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being such a cool dude, taking the time to talk to me, even when you didn't have to. I mean, you took the time to talk to me for like an hour or two at the Super Show. You took the time to talk to me on Instagram Live the other day, even though we were going to be doing this as well. You took the time to talk, and you take the time to talk to me now. So thank you for your time and your insight. I think that it's very important for people to watch this to kind of get a little bit of a better understanding of you and how you think and your mentalities. And I think that's very important for people to learn. Now, the last question I have for you before we start wrapping stuff up is, so I love stories from the dojo. And what I mean by that is it's, you're training, something happens, it's weird or funny, but the only people that really know about it are the people who were right there inside the dojo. So I'm curious if you had a story of you training sometime and something funny or interesting happened during your training that we might not know about.
Don't have, not on my right off my head at the moment. Not really. I got one like the not funny. But I got one guy, like it's a different kind of story. He come and train with me. He ring me up. It's like this. He ring me up and he said, Master Wong, do you want, can I train with you? And I said, so who are you then? And he said to me, I'm the bodyguard. I do 25-year bodyguard training, bodyguard for bodyguard. And I said, okay, then that's cool. And I said, and he said, do you want to train me? And I said, okay, then you do bodyguard work. So what sort of thing you do? I said, oh yeah, we are controlling crowd and beating people up if we don't get into the VIP. I said, okay, then if you come up here, I tickle you a bit, and then and then if you like it, then you pay for it. My cost is £250 per hour. If you like it, you pay for it. Okay, so he's if you don't like it, don't pay for it. So he come up to me and he come up and he's do some bit and pieces. I said, so what do you want to do? Oh, I do this to you. So soon he do something, I check his leg, fuck his leg up. He punch me, I break his fist. Coming close, I probably crack it off somebody's rib, and after about less than a couple of seconds, not very long. And afterward, I said to him, you got an hour, 2 hours. What do you want to do? I said, I don't think I can do anything here. Can we just talk then? So I spent 2 fucking hours talking to him. And when he left, he get his fucking money. And he grabbed my hand out. I didn't ask him for the money, okay? He hold my hand and he's put in my hand. He said, Master Wong, it's the honor to give you this money because I never give that money that fucking willing. And that's the story. And that's what it's all about. Sometimes people need to understanding is have some fun with people. But when to learn from someone, need to understanding you come there to learn. Don't come there and thinking you're trying to fuck around because they will hurt you. And then you walk home with injured and you learn nothing. Stupid.
Now, what was that quote you told me? You told me something and I'm trying to remember it.
The way you do anything is the way you do everything.
How you do anything is the way you do everything, right?
The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Because That's what you conduct yourself in life. Okay, the way you conduct yourself in life, everything you do in your life, it have to transferable to everything you want to do in everyday life. Okay, because otherwise it becomes useless. Whatever you train on, you got dedication, mindset, you got a principle, you love people. That's what you transfer into everyday life. You meet people, you do the same. Everything is the same. So you don't become shifts, you know, like one day you this, another day you this, another day you something else, you know. You're always the same person. The way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you reminding me of that quote. I thought it was gold. So I will say this, do me a favor. I want you to shout yourself out and tell people where they can find you, how they can find out more about you, and where they can get a piece of your book that you have coming out.
Okay, so I'm working with the Pitmaster at the moment to put in the HK3 system together, Hawaiian Kembo system together. So we work with Pitmaster into the MMA for UFC stuff training. Okay, so people thinking like I'm not very doing that. So that's one thing we do. And second, we work with another person called IDO. So he's dealing with tactical weapon. Okay, teaching police. So I'm working with that. Another thing I do as well is I got my own book, 2 of my books, so you can get in Amazon next month, and then you can read about it. You're understanding more about me as a person, and that money we're gonna helping raise fund for anti-bullying, helping kids in the street, helping people to raise some awareness. I work very closely with Budo Brother as well.
Yes, I do. You just reminded me of that, and I apologize to interrupt, but just in case people don't know about the Budo brothers, right? Budo brothers do a lot of media in terms of following martial artists and putting out content and stuff like that. They have an amazing program where they're trying to get different martial arts studios to hop on board to donate 10 slots a piece in martial arts studios to underprivileged kids to help get them in martial arts. And their goal is to reach 1 million people. Imagine allowing 1 million people on this planet.
That's what we done. Talk about it with Sifu Singh and the Budo Brother in 5 years. 1 million kids in 5 years that we try to make a difference. So that's why we try to put all the bit of program together at the moment, try to raise some awareness. Okay.
And I'll help out as much as I can because I believe in it. You know, there are definitely kids out there who are underprivileged who could learn a lot on how to be better human beings from the martial arts. I mean, shit, sure. I think it only made me a better human being, and I was an asshole. You know, I had a rough childhood, and I was fighting people in bars at 30. They were 30, and I was 15 because we had smoker fights back then. So the first boxing match I ever had was against a grown man, and I was 15 years old. So it definitely changed my mentality, and it made me a better person. And you know, I was not impoverished. I had a very middle class life. I've always had money or a job. You know. But at the same time, there are kids out there who don't have that and they don't have that opportunity. And this is a great opportunity to get on board if you are a martial arts school owner to help some kids. And fuck, what does it cost you? Some space. You were already teaching the goddamn class anyway. Now there's just one more body there, you know, and it helps your community. It helps get kids off the street. It helps get them in a better environment to be better people. So it's something I truly believe in to my core. And Master Wong and the Budo brothers are going to be helping out with that. And I think that's really important people know about.
We rap. I think put in right places. That's what we're here for. That's why you can see why we want to spend time to channel ourselves into stupid thing that we can infect somebody and help someone. Why? So if you want to really make a difference, try to help somebody. So get involved and helping affects 1 million kids around the world. I think that's like something that when you're dead, your kid can talk about it, you know. They feel proud that as a human being, we made a difference on this world. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And then you can find Master Wong on YouTube. He's got a big YouTube channel. You can find him on Facebook. Where can they find you on YouTube? What's your YouTube channel?
Put Master Wong, you'll find me.
Yeah, pretty much. And same thing on Instagram. You can find him on Instagram as well. Yeah. So one more time, thank you so much, Master Wong, for coming on. I really appreciate your time. Check out his book when it comes out on Amazon coming up soon. Get in contact with him about the things that are going on with the Budo brothers. If you have a studio and you're interested in being involved, contact the man, contact me, contact Budo brothers, contact somebody, and then we'll help get you involved. So thank you so much again. You have a fantastic day, my friend. Okay. And we will just keep chit-chatting because I enjoy our talk. So you have a good day.
You too. Thank you, man.
And hold on one second.